here. And I want to welcome everybody. I guess everybody survived the snow from last week and is doing well with that. So we're going to jump into some Instagram training this morning. And you know, the process that we're going to go through, I'm going to go through the whole PowerPoint that I have, and then step back and actually share my phone screen and go through kind of the same thing. So instead of jumping back and forth between sharing a PowerPoint and then sharing the phone, I'm going to cover the aspects of what I'm going to show you actually hands-on on the phone, and then we'll actually jump to the phone. So I've learned that jumping back and forth between sharing a PowerPoint screen and then sharing the phone can get a little quirky and cause some problems. So I'm going to try to avoid that by going through the PowerPoint and then actually going to the phone. And just like any of my trainings, you know, if you guys have any questions or anything, just stop me right in the middle or just speak up. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be watching the chat window. I would prefer you use the mic if you can. If you can't, then I'll read the question from chat. I may be a little delayed getting back to it. But I will do my best to keep up with that. So we'll start off here with just the basic question of, are any of you guys using Instagram right now, either on a personal level or for your office marketing tools, or just starting out?
Yes. I have both. Yes, on a personal.
Okay, Gail, that's you. Rebecca, what were you going to say?
I have both. I have a personal and I opened one after the marketing training.
Okay. All right. So, you know, when I first started working through, you know, creating this training, I wasn't really thinking, well, even before then, I wasn't thinking about, and just because I haven't spent a lot of time at that point in Instagram, the relevance that it has. But the more that I think about it, the more that I get into Instagram, the more that I see the relevance that it does have in our county offices and for what we do. So hopefully we can go through some of those ideas. Gail, are you guys using Instagram there in the county, or are you just using it personally?
Just personally right now. I'm wanting to set up one for the county, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
For this training.
Okay, great. Well, and you know, this training, it's just like any other social media platform. You know, there's some points that I'll try to make, but if you guys have any ideas or anything, I really encourage you to share those with the group as we go through some of this. So I will jump on over into my PowerPoint. So let me share that screen. All right, can everybody see that PowerPoint okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right, if something happens and it goes dark or whatever, somebody let me know, because I'll just keep right on talking and I won't even realize that you guys can't see what I'm showing you. So, you know, just this is kind of the third in the series of these getting started Zoom meetings. You know, I've enjoyed doing them. This is something that I'm going to continue to do even after this first round is up. I think next we've got LinkedIn coming up next week. So, you know, we'll keep doing some of these remote trainings like this. So this is meant just to kind of get you off the ground with Instagram, get you introduced to the interface, maybe exchange some ideas about how we could use Instagram for our county offices. So we'll get right into it. All right, so first of all, what is Instagram? Instagram is a mobile-first social media network based on photo sharing. So when I say mobile first, the Instagram does have a website. It's Instagram.com. However, you're very limited what you can do on the Instagram website. You can like photos. I think you can comment. You can read comments that people have made on your photos, things like that. But as far as actually sharing content, you can't really do that from the web interface. So it's all pushed or geared towards that mobile aspect, either from a tablet or from a phone. So you know, you're going to thinking through how you're going to use this. This is not like Facebook. It's not like Instagram in the fact that you can do, you know, Facebook and Twitter. Sorry, I said like Instagram. It's not like Facebook. It's not like Twitter. You can do Facebook and Twitter from either your phone or from the web interface. Instagram, you're going to have to do it, share photos and things like that actually from your phone. So Instagram is a lot like Twitter in the fact of it's a news feed, but it's a news feed based on pictures. Now, one of the neat things about it is when you share a picture, you're not really limited. You know, on Twitter, you can share a picture there, but you're limited to 140 characters. On Instagram, you can write as much as you want to when you share those photos, which can be a good and a bad thing. You know, I would encourage you not to get too wordy as you're sharing these things or sharing these photos, but you can write a little bit more of a description about what you're seeing outside of that 140 character limit that you're going to be faced with on Twitter. But when we think about the actual platform, it's a lot like what we're used to seeing in Twitter, that it's a news feed, and that it's you know, the more people you follow on Instagram, the faster that news feed is going to move. Application can be downloaded from your mobile app store, so either the Windows Marketplace or the Google Play Store or the App Store on iOS. It's a free download, and there's a plethora of supporting apps that third-party folks have made to interact and do some other things with Instagram. And you know, I'm not going to list all those here. If there's something out there that catches your eye and you'd like to try it, then by all means download it, give it a shot. You know, I don't think that I would pay for any, if there are any that cost any, but you can find some just basic photo apps that may help you you know, take the picture that you're looking for with Instagram and then share that on Instagram or whatever. But again, it's a free download. Should have no trouble finding it there from the mobile app store. As I said before, there is a website, but you're very limited. Mostly you can just do some account management. You can access the Instagram blog, which if you are just getting started with Instagram and getting started with Instagram from a marketing standpoint, the Instagram blog is full of resources that you can use. They do a really good job of keeping that thing updated with tips and tricks and all kinds of different stuff. So I've been there a couple of times over the past several weeks just to kind of look at some of the archived blogs that they've done, and they really do a good job of pushing some stuff out there. So if you're just getting started, I would encourage you to at least become familiar with accessing those blogs and taking a look at them to see what's there. And you can find that there at the Instagram.com website. And then on the website, you can view photos via the website. You can see what people have commented. You can like photos there. You can see who's liked your photos. And there's some other web pages that I'm going to share with you at the end of this that will help you, will add a little bit of dynamics to your Instagram efforts. And I will email this PowerPoint out to everybody after tomorrow's class so that you guys can have it. If you want it before the class happens tomorrow, then just drop me a note and I'll make sure and get that to you. So like I said, I'm going to go through this, and then I'm actually going to share my phone screen so that we can work, so I can show you kind of a hands-on about what all this stuff does. So when you open up the Instagram app, the default page that shows up is going to be your home feed. This is just basically going to be all of the people that you follow, the posts that they've made. So you can scroll and scroll and scroll and just find, you know, go back as many days as you want. It's just going to be a news feed where the most recent is at the top and the oldest ones are towards the bottom. So you can view photos there. You can like, you can comment, and there's a couple different ways that you can like, and I'll show that when we actually get to the interface. Besides the home screen, right beside that, you're going to have the ability to search. And there's a couple of things that you can do when you search. You can either search for photos, you can search for people, you can search for hashtags. So a lot like Twitter, Instagram's going to use hashtags or keywords that will help kind of align all these photos to a certain you know, keyword or hashtag. Kind of like at the Extension Conference, we utilized the hashtag TEC14. So when people posted a photograph on Instagram, if they use that hashtag, then that was pulled into a you know, group of photos that also use that hashtag. So just like on Twitter, hashtags are just keywords that help group similar content together. When you first click on the search option, it's going to display the most popular photos currently on Instagram. And what that does, and again, this will make more sense when I actually show you the interface, it will look at who you followed and some of the photos that you've liked, and it'll give you recommendations on that, but it'll also show you some things that are just popular on Instagram in general. So it's going to be a mix, and I'm not really sure how they determine that mix, but that search, when that search page first loads, it's going to be a mix of similar photos or similar users to what you already follow, but it's also going to throw in some stuff that's just popular right now on Instagram. So when you open the search box, and you'll see this when I actually show you the interface, you may see some photos that you really don't understand. Why is this showing up in my newsfeed or in this search option? You know, I have no interest in following that band or that actor or whatever. It may be because it's popular right now on Instagram. It's getting a lot of likes, getting a lot of comments on Instagram, so it's going to throw it out there as something that you may want to follow or something you may want to see. You can click or swipe to display people tab. This feed will display people recommended to you to follow or recommended for you to follow on Instagram. So that could be based off of your Twitter account. It could be based off your Facebook account if you have those two accounts linked to Instagram, or it could be based off of people that you follow. So it's going to give you, you know, just like any of the other social media platforms, either Facebook or Twitter, it's going to give you some recommendations of folks that you could follow that that you're not already currently following. You can also search users and hashtags by clicking inside the search box. And again, we'll go through all this hands-on. So this is just kind of an overview of what we're going to cover when I actually share my screen. So the camera, this is the meat and the potatoes of Instagram. It's the middle button. It's the biggest button. It's even highlighted in blue, even when you're not in the camera app, because that's what Instagram is. It's a photo sharing social media platform. So that's going to be the most important aspect on the Instagram app. You can do photos or you can do videos, and then once you take a photo or a video, there's a ton of different things that you can do to those photos. You can add different screens. You can play with some of the settings. One of the things that I've kind of started playing with a little bit, and if you've never seen these type of photos, then give it a Google search and take a look at some of these photos. But it's called tilt shift, and some of you guys that are that dabble in some photography there on the side, then you're probably familiar with that term, but it's a really neat kind of view that makes, I don't know, I've seen cityscapes taken with this tilt shift tool, or edited maybe with this tilt shift kind of platform or thought process, and it makes like you know, full scale cars and stuff look like little toys. It's really a neat kind of view, and I'm nowhere near as good as some of the folks are that are doing a good job with this. But it's there's literally, you could spend hours playing with one photo and getting the settings just how you want. So, you know, it's one of those things where you could really get lost in it. You know, play with it, have fun with it, but you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't get the photo just exactly the way you want it. But after you take that photo, you have the ability to put a caption on there. You can tag people. You can tag a location that you're in. You can also share that photo directly to Facebook or Twitter from the Instagram app. So it's a really diverse way and easy way to manage some of these things. You know, I've talked a lot about in the past, you know, not linking your Facebook and Twitter accounts, because there's two different conversations. You know, you've probably seen it where somebody has their Twitter account linked to their Facebook page, so when they make a tweet, it shows up in their Facebook feed. You know, it's two different conversations where you can use hashtags on Facebook and Twitter. They're more prevalent on Twitter than they are on Facebook. But when you start doing the @ symbol to mention people, it kind of gets lost in translation. And I think that kind of same thing is going to apply here. So if you take a photo and you make just a generic caption on it, maybe you add a hashtag or two in there, then that may be okay to share to Twitter, share to Instagram. Share to Facebook. But if you start mentioning folks, that could get really lost in translation, because a username on Instagram is probably going to be a different username on Twitter, and then the @ symbol just is not even really recognized on Facebook when you go to mention people, unless you're actually in the Facebook platform. So, and I'll go through all that here in just a little bit. The news tab, this tab is going to display activity from your Instagram account. So when people join Instagram, so let's say that somebody from your Facebook friends list joins Instagram, you may get a notification saying, hey, John Doe joined Instagram, and you can follow them right there from that screen. Or you may see where people have liked or commented on a post that you've made. You can see when someone follows you, and you could follow them right back. So just a really like kind of a notifications tab that we're used to seeing in Facebook. And then the final tab that you're going to see there is the account tab. Here you can adjust your settings, and I'll get into that and play with that just a little bit. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this and see if I can share my phone screen. Let me get set up here. All right. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that this is going to work okay. Okay, can you guys see my Instagram feed here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. All right, so far so good. Hopefully we can maintain this connection and keep this right on going. So again, the first thing that we see here is the home screen. As I scroll here, I can see different photos from people that I've followed. You know, whatever that may be. There's my brother. He celebrated his birthday this past weekend. A couple of people that I follow there from Nashville. Just, you know, whatever it may be. That's just our news feed. So we can see there at the bottom of the screen, you can see that home button kind of has a black background, so that indicates that that's where I'm at. So from here, if I wanted to, I could like this photo. So a couple of different ways that we could go about liking. So if I wanted to like this photo here that we're looking at from Shelby Bottoms here in Nashville, I don't know if it was taken this morning or not, but a really, really cool photo there. I could either click on the like button. You can see it's kind of grayed out. So if I click that, then that's going to be highlighted and the little heart turns red and shows that I've liked it. If I wanted to, I could also just double tap on the picture itself. So when I double tap on that picture, then that little heart icon shows up and shows that I've liked that picture. So that's an easy way that you can go about liking a photo. And if let's say that I didn't click the like button there, and whoever runs this account is going to wonder what the heck I am doing liking and unliking their photo, but that's okay. So if I didn't like that button or didn't like this photo by clicking the like button, let's just say that I double tapped on it, you can see at the bottom that liked, after I double tapped on the photo, that liked icon, again, the heart turns red and it's highlighted showing that I've liked that photo. If I wanted to comment, I could just click on and you can't really see the buttons here, they're not really showing up, but there's gray around that comment area that indicates that it is a button. If I click on that comment, then I could add a comment here if I wanted to. I could say, great place for a run. It's good and flat, my type of running. If I wanted to send that, so then my comment will show up there. Now let's say that I make a comment and I want to remove that comment. If I just swipe to the left, you can see that I have options there to either forward that comment or I can delete it altogether. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm comfortable with leaving my comment there. I'm just going to go back to my news feed, and so here we are. Okay, any questions on liking or commenting or the home feed altogether? Okay, assuming there are none, then we'll move on to the search option. So we can see here, you know, recently I've been following some, I'm a big fan of pit bulls. I'm a big fan of folks that rescue them. I like the breed. I got one myself. So I recently followed a couple of pit bull Instagram feeds, and we can see that that's indicated by the amount of dogs that are showing up in my Instagram feed. So Instagram is saying, hey, you like dogs, we're going to show you all this other stuff that deals with dogs. I also like a lot of hockey related Instagram accounts, so we can see that we're definitely seeing some of that and some of the other pictures there from Nashville. So you know, there's just a mix here of either similar, you know, people, this is just giving me, this is what I see when I click on the search box or the search icon, which is the little magnifying glass. This is a mix of either things that Instagram thinks I would be interested in, people that are followed by people that I follow, so kind of a degree of separation there, or things that are simply just popular right now on Instagram. Okay, so it's just a mix here of different things. And if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to click on this this very first picture, when I click on that, that actually takes me to that picture as I would see it in a news feed. I can see that I have the opportunity to follow this person at the top if I wanted to by clicking the follow button. I can also read all of the comments or see all the likes there. And if I follow them, then that icon, that button, becomes green, okay? Let's say that I followed somebody that maybe I didn't really mean to. If I wanted to unfollow them, then I could just click that follow button again, and it's going to say, would you like to now unfollow this person? And I can click on unfollow, and then I will unfollow them. Again, these folks on Instagram are probably wondering what I'm doing by just following and unfollowing. So I'm going to go back to my search feed here. And again, we can see the highlighted tab there is photos. So if I click on, well, didn't mean to click on that dog. If I click on the people option there at the top, then it's going to give me just a list of different people, okay? Now, I could follow, this is the very top one there is a buddy of mine that I play hockey with. So if I wanted to, I could follow him. And I could search on down and find all of these people. There's Michael Shirley. Hope he's doing well in his new gig. So I could follow several different people from here if I wanted to. You know, a lot of guys that I play hockey with. National Geographic, I could imagine that they're going to put some really neat photos out there. So this is a good way to kind of reach out and network folks and find people that maybe you're not following right now that are going to be along the same lines that you're interested in there on Instagram. So you can search through that, and that thing will just scroll and scroll and scroll all day long if you wanted to. So let's say that there was something in particular that I wanted to search for. So let's say that I wanted to search for University of Tennessee. And you can see the default right now is users, okay? So when I'm searching for University of Tennessee, then I'm seeing all users that have either University of Tennessee in their title, University of Tennessee in their name, or somehow have University of Tennessee listed in something that they're doing. So there's several different users that I could follow here based on that University of Tennessee search. Let's say I wanted to search hashtags. So if I just clicked on the hashtags, then we can see that where I typed in University of Tennessee then gets translated into a hashtag. So if I wanted to, I could back that out. And let's just say I wanted to search for Extension Month. Right now we are celebrating Extension Month, so there's one post for Extension Month. If I click on that, then it's going to take me to this picture, and it looks like that in Overton County, Nicole Marrero is the new agent there, so she's posted a picture of some of their office renovation that's going on. So I know Nicole, we work for the same organization, so I'll go ahead and follow her there on Instagram. So real quick and easy way that you can search either hashtags, users, or if I just back that completely out and click cancel, then we just go back to our photos and our people search. So the hashtags and users only gets activated when I click in that search bar. Other than that, we're just going to see photos and people. So anybody have any questions here on the search feature or the search option on Instagram? Okay, assuming there are none, then I will move on to the next one, which is the camera. And as you can see, before I even click on the camera, it's kind of highlighted in blue because that is the main focal point for Instagram. Instagram is a photo sharing application, so it makes sense for them to really highlight or push that photo or the camera button. So if I click on the camera button, and the first thing that shows up is a camera. So I can take a picture of a picture of a picture. That's kind of an interesting view there. I'll go ahead and take that picture. It's kind of, you keep seeing it going there in the background. So if I take that picture, the next thing that I'll have the option to do is I can add several different filters on here. So each one of these that I'm scrolling through there at the bottom is just a filter. Sorry. Get back to Instagram. So I can search one of those, or I can add one of those filters. If we add a filter and we don't like it, we can just keep clicking and adding different filters. And you can see as I tap on a filter, there's a little blue line that appears below the filter that I'm using. So if I double tap, let's say that I want to select this lo-fi filter here. So if I click that, it's added that filter. If I click it again, then it gives me the opportunity to adjust how transparent that filter is. Okay, so you can see as I move that, that screen will get a little bit darker, a little bit lighter as I go the other way. So you can adjust those settings there and get it to the way that you want it. You can add a border if you wanted to do that. So I'm going to leave that and just click the check box. So that's all the filters. So that's the first option you have. If I click on the next option, then I can adjust the brightness of this photo. Okay, so however I feel like it looks best, I can set that. And again, like I said before, you could spend hours adjusting your photos and the way they look. If I click on the last icon, which is a little wrench there, then I can add several different kind of, I can adjust the angle of the picture, I can adjust the brightness, I can adjust the contrast, warmth, saturation, highlights, shadows. That tilt shift, that's what I was talking about. That really wouldn't play out very well with this photo, but it's a very fun little tool to use. So I encourage you to play with that a little bit and see if you can get one that looks just right. I was able to take one a little while ago. I'll see if I can show it. That kind of showed up, translated a little the way that I was wanting it to, but still not as good as what some of the folks can do out there on Instagram. But once I'm comfortable with the adjustments and the settings and things that how I want this photo to look, then I can click next. And now I have the opportunity to add a caption. So I can type here, working with some great folks on Instagram. So you can see there as I type the @ symbol, it pulled up and started typing Instagram, it pulled up a list. So that's the way I would mention folks. So as soon as I type that @ button and then start typing, let's just say I put an A there, it's going to pull up people from my list that I've followed. Well, not everybody in that list are folks that I've followed. There's a few in there that I do not recognize, and maybe I have followed them and just don't remember it. But just by putting that @ symbol and then a letter, now I have a long list of folks that I can pick from to tag in this comment. Now, I'm not going to tag anybody else. I'm just going to leave it at Instagram. So working with some great folks on Instagram training. And then I'll throw in a hashtag Happy Extension Month. And I don't think UT has a Instagram account, so I'm just going to do, or UT Extension. I'm just going to do UT Extension and leave it at that. Let me get rid of that notification. So working with some great folks on at the Instagram training, Happy Extension Month, UT Extension. Okay, so once I'm done with my caption, if I don't want to add anything else to my caption, then I can click and I can tag people actually on the photo. So when I mention people by putting the @ symbol in the actual in the caption, I'm mentioning them. If I want to tag somebody, so let's say I had a picture here of our office staff, and if I wanted to tag each individual person in that picture, then when I click on tag people, it gives me the opportunity to click, and you can see it says who is this. So that's not really anybody right there, so I'm not going to tag, but I could move around and tag different people on the picture if I wanted to. I'm not going to tag anybody here because there's not really anybody to tag. If I wanted to, I could add this to the photo map. Now, the photo map is something, I think right now Instagram is going through a little bit of a legal issue on the photo map. There's been some, we have to be careful what we do on the internet, right? So there's been some situations where people have tagged a photo and it's, all this information is public, just like anything we put on Twitter, just like anything we put on Facebook, it's all public. So if I tag a photo or if I name a location of a photo that I took, Let's say that it was of my house and I had people over there, or I don't have any children, but if I took a picture of my kids at my house and I added this to the photo map, then somebody could find out where I live at. And, you know, I can understand that that may be something people don't really want to share. So you have the, you know, right now the photo map option, I think, is not really working on Instagram. It's a really cool idea because if you're traveling a lot and doing different things, then it's neat to kind of keep up with all the different places you've gone, but I don't think that's working. But I can still name a location. So if I click on name this location, then I get several options based on where I am currently. So I can say, yes, this is the University of Tennessee Agriculture Extension. We can see that that name is a little outdated. I don't really know who we need to contact to get that name changed, but I'm going to go ahead and not the Department of Agriculture. I didn't mean to do that. University of Tennessee Agriculture Extension. I'll leave it that, even though the name is outdated. And if I wanted to send this to Facebook, I could just tap on that Facebook button. You can see that that turns blue when I do that. And if I wanted to send it to Twitter, I could click on that Twitter icon and it would send it to that. If I wanted to send it to Flickr, I could send it to Flickr, as long as I have these accounts attached. And I'll show you how to do that here in just a little bit. I don't have a Tumblr account, and I don't think I've used Foursquare in like 5 years, so I'm not gonna do that. And I'm gonna actually remove sending that to Twitter, Facebook, and Flickr. I'm just gonna have this go to Instagram. So when I'm done, when I'm happy with the caption that I have and the naming the location, tagging people, different things like that, then I'm ready to click the share button. So when I click share, then it's gonna go to my home screen and show me that I have posted that picture. So if you guys are on Instagram and you follow me, then you can come and comment and tell me how great of a training it was, or maybe unfortunately how horrible of a training it was, whichever. Or you could just like the photo. I am sad that the photo didn't take all the different layers that we were seeing when I pulled the camera up. But just to get back into the camera again real quick to show you how to change from taking a still shot to taking a video. If I click on the camera icon, if I just swipe from right to left, then we can see that now we have the big red button, and if I click on that, then it's going to start recording. I'm not going to take a video. I just want to show you just by swiping, that's how we change that, okay? And after you've taken a video, you can still add the different filters and the different settings and things like that to it. So the next, any questions on the camera? Okay. So I'm going to go to, all right, we see that we had somebody like it. All right, Gail liked my photo there. Thank you, Gail. I'm going to go ahead and follow you there. So we can see this is the news feed that I was telling you about. This kind of gives me an update of what people are doing, or people that I've followed, or people that follow me, or the different things that are going on. So we can see there, we see that Gail liked the photo. I can see some older posts there that people have either liked or I've followed, or people have joined Instagram that you know, maybe I'm friends with on Facebook, or that I follow on Twitter, different things like that. So it's just a way to keep up with everything that's going on there on people that you followed. So there's not really much going on, or not really much to really see here. If I click on the U, or sorry, that was the U. If I go and click on the following, then it's going to give me an update of what's going on with people that I follow. So the default that loaded when I loaded this news feed was for me. So it was when people liked a photo of mine, or people followed me, or somebody I know joined Instagram or something like that. When I click on the following at the top, then I can see what's going on with people that I follow. So that's a way to see what my friends on Instagram are up to, what they're out taking pictures of, and what they're tagging, and different things like that. So it's just a way to kind of, you know, outside of the news feed, to come here and get an idea of what's going on. You can see barely there at the bottom of the screen, under the bottom of this little dialogue bubble with a heart in the middle of it, there's a little orange dot. And that little orange dot just indicates that there's some activity, that something's happened. Somebody's either followed me or liked something. So if I go back to my I can see that Rebecca liked the photo there that I just posted from the training. So then I'll know, and I can go, I don't even know if I follow Rebecca. I don't. So when I clicked on Rebecca's Instagram account, then it takes me to her page. I can follow Rebecca from here. Let's say that I didn't mean to follow her and I wanted to unfollow her. It's very easy to do. I could just click on the following icon and it's going to say, do you want to unfollow or cancel? And I'm going to cancel there because Rebecca and I are buddies, so I'll go ahead and follow her. So pretty basic, just a way to keep up with what your friends on Instagram are doing and keep up with how your friends on Instagram are interacting with you. So any questions or any comments here on the activity feed? And I keep calling it a news feed. It's actually in Instagram, it's called an activity feed. All right, well, moving on then to the very final one. This is the account or your personal page, I guess. So you can see there at the top, you have your icon, you've got the number of posts you've made, you've got the number of followers you have, the number of people following you. I can look at all of the pictures there that I've taken. Let's see if I can find the one where I did a tilt shift. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, I mean, it kind of works a little bit, but it's still not as good as what some of the folks have posted there on Instagram. But you can still see where the players there on the ice look like they're little toys, or at least to me they do. So I never claimed to be the best photographer out there. So the default view that we have here is a gridded view or a grid view. If I wanted to see it kind of in a list or the way that we would see it there on the news feed, if I can click the icon there beside it, and you can see that it now lists everything the way that we would see it on our home feed. So if I click on the little, and this is where I was talking about, you can't really see it there in that top beside where those three lines are blue. Right now I'm looking at the list feed. Right beside that is the map. So it's a little location kind of icon. That's grayed out. Even though I have my location map turned on, that's still grayed out. And that's where I think that Instagram is having some issues or dealing with some things on that photo map option. So, you know, that's grayed out. I don't know if it'll ever come back or if that's kind of gone from here on out, that it's not a possibility. But either way, the last icon there at the top is photos of me. So that's where somebody has tagged a photo of me on Instagram. So that's only happened 3 times. So if I go back here and take a look here at the top, the edit your profile. So if I click on edit your profile, here we have the opportunity to change our name. We can add a website. Now, one of the downfalls to Instagram is that we can't actually, we could spell out a URL in our caption. So if let's say we took a photo for our county office, you know, during extension month, we had a thing set up at Tractor Supply Company, okay? So in that caption, I could say, you know, it's extension month, XYZ County is celebrating with a field day or a information booth at your local Tractor Supply. For more information, visit xyz.tennessee.edu. Okay, so we could actually spell out the URL, but it won't link. So we can't put links, you know, like in Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. We can actually put links in our comments. We can't really do that here. But if you're setting up an account for your county office, then I would encourage you to come into this website aspect and fill that out. And then you could say, click on our link in our profile or something. You see that very often when people are, you know, when businesses are using Instagram, they'll say, you know, click on our link in our profile to visit our website or something like that. So again, you could spell out, here's our website URL, but it won't link. You actually have to, for people to be able to just tap and go to your website, you'd have to say, click on our link in our profile. So you can add a little bio there if you wanted to do that. And let's say private information, you could add a phone number if you wanted to. I've got an email address, and then you can say what gender you are. So not really much you can do there. I'm going to just click cancel to get out of that. So that's just your basic profile settings. Now to get into the actual account settings, then I would click on that little gear icon there at the upper right hand corner of the screen. So when I click on that, then you have several more options, and this is where you kind of get into the nuts and bolts of how your account works and functions and things like that. So find Facebook friends. If I clicked on that, then it's going to give me a list of people from my Facebook account that are on Instagram that I don't currently follow. So I could do that. I could find contacts that are in my phone book that are on Instagram. So there's ways that you can really, build a following pretty quickly. And Instagram is a lot like Twitter in that if somebody follows you or if you follow them, it's kind of the kind thing to do to follow them back, or somebody, if you follow somebody, they'll follow you back. Or if somebody, especially when you're trying to get your county Instagram account off and going, if somebody likes a photo or comments on a photo, just go in and reply back to those folks. But that's besides that, this is an easy way that you can find people to follow on Instagram. You can invite people to Instagram if they're not currently on it. I've never really used these tools, but they are there for you. You can edit your profile here. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to the screen that we were just at. So there's nothing new to see there. I can change my password. I can take a look at posts that I've liked. So all these different posts that I've double tapped or that I've liked are showing up here. So let's say that you're on Instagram and you like a photo or something, you can't remember who that was or if you follow that person. So maybe you want to come back here and take a look at a photo that you've liked and follow that person, or see what else they've been up to. I can turn my account to private, and basically what that means is if my account's private, then only people that I'm friends with or that I've connected with on Instagram can see my post. It also means that if somebody sends me a follow request, they will have to wait. It'll kind of be a pending request. So I have to go in and actually accept that request and things. So, if you're doing it from a personal standpoint, I definitely understand the private account, but when you're setting up your county office account, I would turn that private account off. Because we want to be, open and transparent, just the way that we are on Twitter and on Facebook. Linked accounts, here's where you would add some of those linked accounts. So you can see that I've got my Facebook account added. I've got my Twitter account added. I don't have a Tumblr account, so I don't have that added. I've got my Flickr account added. If I was active on Foursquare, I would add that. If I spoke whatever language those next two are, then I may add those, but I'm not really sure what that says. And then the last one, I'm not really sure what that is either. So this is just a reminder that Instagram is global. It's got as big of a following outside of the continental U.S. that it does right here. So kind of a neat aspect. You can really see some cool stuff from different parts of the globe here. The Help Center and support, if I click on that, then I think this will give you kind of a overview of some of the blog entries that Instagram has made. So you don't have to go to the Instagram website to view these blogs. You can actually just come here. On the Ask a Question, that's basically just a search. So if you wanted to search for something, if you're having trouble with something or whatever, you could come in here and search it and get some more information. And you can report a problem down here at the bottom. Ads, blog. Okay, that maybe the Help Center is not the blog. The blog is actually right here. So if I click on the blog, then there's several different entries that I can read through. Again, Instagram does a really good job of on their blog, and you can gain some knowledge just from kind of skimming through that and finding some things. Privacy policy terms about this version, different things there, just the basics of it that you're going to find on any app. And then clear your search history, or you can log out. So that basically sums up your account options there. Any questions on your profile or your account settings that I can cover? Okay. All right, well, that's the basics of the Instagram app. So let me stop sharing that and come back here to my PowerPoint. Can you guys see the PowerPoint okay?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Let me get to where we were. Okay, just some tips here, I guess, on taking photos. And again, guys, I am not a photographer. That's one of the things that is on my, not really bucket list, but it's on my to-do items. I would love to spend some time trying to become a better photographer. I think it's so neat, and it's such an art when people can take really neat pictures. So, you know, this is just some information that I gleaned to share with you guys. You know, the flash, you can turn it on or off based on the you know, the settings or the atmosphere or the environment, I guess, you're taking pictures in. So just like taking any picture, you can turn it off, turn your flash on, or turn it on to auto. So whatever works out for you guys. Focus. Now, the focus may just be on iOS, but let's say that you're wanting to take a picture and you're wanting to focus in the background. You know, if you're taking a picture and you have some content up in the foreground, but you want to focus on the background, if you just tap on the photo screen, then it's going to draw a little circle around where your finger is, and that's where it's going to focus. So that can change the light or the need for a flash or different things like that. So again, you do that just by tapping, and that may just be on the iPhone. I don't know if if that option is available on Android or not, but again, you just tap on the actual screen on the viewfinder there when you're taking a photo. And you can move that around different places. And as you move that around with your finger, you can see how the picture becomes lighter or darker. The rule of thirds, you know, if you're in the marketing training that Gabe did for the Central region here a couple weeks ago, I guess, he talked a little bit about this, but using, when you first open up Instagram, there's going to be, or when you open up the photo tool to take a picture, you're going to have a grid on there. Now you can turn that grid off if you want to, but that grid is set up into 3 vertical and 3 horizontal you know, sections. So the rule of 1/3 is try to use the grid that's available. If you want to take a focus or a picture that focuses on a certain aspect, if you take it where those grid lines intersect, that's supposed to give you a better picture quality or a better story there that you can tell with that photo. Again, guys, take this for what it's worth. I'm not a photographer, so these are just some quick and easy tips that I thought I'd throw out there. The beautiful thing about this is if you take a picture with Instagram and it doesn't turn out the way you want it, you don't have to share it. You can just cancel it, or you can just go back and start taking another picture. We virtually unlimited amount of pictures based on the amount of storage you have on your device. So you can just keep taking pictures until you find the one that you like. You can also pull in pictures from your photo album on your phone or on your device. You don't have to always take the picture with Instagram. So let's say that you're posting to your county account, and over the weekend you're at a field day or something and you took several photos, and you're getting into the office on Monday morning and you don't want to take a picture for Instagram, but you want to post a picture that you took from this weekend, you would just pull that up from your from inside the Instagram app, and I'll share my phone again to show you how to do that. And you can still add the same filters and tools to that picture even though you didn't just take it with Instagram. So you don't have to always use the picture that you're taking right off the cuff there with Instagram. Again, we covered after snapping the photo, you're going to have several different tools. We talked about sharing. The high resolution photos, so on your device, when you install Instagram, you're going to give it the right to access your photo or your camera roll or your picture library, whatever it's called. When you take a picture with Instagram, the picture that actually is shared is a lower resolution picture. There will be another folder in your camera roll called Instagram. And in that folder, that's where you're going to find the higher resolution pictures. So here at the end of this meeting, I'm going to give you a website that would allow you to print these photos. Like you could print them on Canvas or different things. That's the photo that you would actually upload, would be that picture from your Instagram folder, which is going to be a higher resolution photo than what actually gets shared. The reason behind that is if it's shared, the higher resolution photos, it could take longer on slower internet connections, and then actually downloading that picture or for people's news feed, it's going to be a little bit slower because the image quality is so much greater than what actually gets shared. So that's kind of the difference there, or why that feature exists. Building your community. So we talked about, how to follow people on Instagram, and if somebody follows you, to follow them back. It's just kind of the kind thing to do. It's Instagram courtesy, if you will. Just like any other social media platform. If you're using this from a personal standpoint, then it's completely up to you how you do this. If you're using it from a marketing standpoint for your county offices, then I would encourage you to follow as many people as you can. Anybody in the community that's on Instagram, I mean, within reason. You have to, if somebody in the community is on Instagram and they're posting pictures that maybe are a little questionable, maybe you don't want to follow them from the county account, that's fine. I get that. But if you have other entities, let's say that the local chamber of commerce or some of the local banks or local government has active accounts on Instagram, follow those folks. Build that community to be as full as you possibly can. The more people you follow, the more people are going to see your post, the more that information is going to get out there. Again, liking and commenting, do that often. So if somebody you follow, let's say you follow somebody in the county, if they post something, like it, just double tap on it, whatever it may be, just interact with those folks. This is just a social media platform, and social media platforms are all about engagement. So we want to engage folks with what they post in hopes that they'll engage us with what we post, okay? When you are learning Instagram, just like with Twitter, one of the best ways to learn is just to get on there and watch. There's a couple of professional Twitter or Instagram accounts that I follow that I'll just look and see how they're posting, what kind of captions they're adding, maybe even try to look at how they're taking some pictures. Just anything. You can gain a lot of knowledge just by watching how other users use these platforms. So I would encourage you to just watch for a while, jump in with both feet and just start throwing pictures out there, but look at how other people are using it. You can get a lot of good information. Use hashtags just like you would on Twitter. Hashtags add a certain dynamic to your post. They give it a little bit of life. They allow it to continue on past the news feed. So, as this is our first year for Extension Month. Hopefully, this momentum will kind of build as we go forward, and Extension Month will become a very good hashtag. Advancing Tennessee is another hashtag that we use. We've started using the hashtag of Real Life Solutions. So those are two really good options that you could use when you're posting pictures from your county account to add or couple options you can use for hashtags when posting pictures there from your county account. I showed you how to unfollow users. You do that just like you would by following them. Before you follow a user, that icon is kind of gray and it says follow. When you click it and you're following a user, then it's green, and then you can go in and unfollow them just by clicking that icon. Deleting a comment, I showed you how to do that. You would delete a comment. So let's say that you posted a picture of your county office at a field day this past weekend or whatever. Let's say somebody makes a comment on there that's maybe an ad. I mean, you see that from time to time. People will try to promote their own Instagram accounts or something like that by commenting on somebody else's Instagram photo saying, follow us at whatever. You can go in to the comments section, and just like I showed you, you swipe from right to left, and you can click on the trash icon, and that will delete that photo. So it's a easy way to kind of manage and get rid of some of those folks that are trying to piggyback off of our posts and get some followers that way. So before I get into this section, let me just stop sharing here and show you a couple things that I forgot to show you on when I had the picture pulled up, or the actual interface pulled up. So let's say that I've got my camera app open here. If I wanted to pull a picture up from before, I could just click on the little icon, share a photo from our camera roll or different things like that. So there's several different ways that we can share pictures. It doesn't have to be a picture that we have taken off the cuff. You can change that. You can also see the grid that I have here, the little blue icon there at the bottom of that grid. If I click that, then that turns that grid off. So clicking it, turn it on, and you can see it's 3 by 3. So they say that taking or capturing the right content would have the focal point being where those grid lines intersect. That's what they say. They're professionals. I am not. So just some tips. You can see the little lightning bolt there on the far right-hand side. We can turn the flash on, turn it to auto, or turn it off altogether. I can change my screen around to where it's selfie facing, if you will. I can turn that back around. And then if I, as I was saying before, the focus, if I just tap on the view, you can see here that now I can change the focal point. And as I move this focal point here, then we can see how the screen resolution or the brightness starts to change a little bit as I go around the picture or the viewfinder. Okay. All right, I think that's all I wanted to show you there on that. So now I'll go back to PowerPoint. Okay, so now based on all that information, just a quick run through of the interface of Instagram. What are some ideas that you guys have on using Instagram for your county offices? Anybody have any ideas? All right. Well, I came up with a few. So photo contests, great thing to do maybe this month for extension month of having, I don't know what you would, we've got a lot of these promotional items that a lot of the counties have ordered. Maybe you have a little giveaway, a grab bag giveaway of a few of those items and have people enter a photo contest using the hashtag of Advancing Tennessee or Real Life Solutions, or maybe using the hashtag Extension Month, and have them post pictures about how Extension has helped them or impacted their life or things like that, and offer a little grab bag. Promote a program. I mean, obviously, one of the biggest things that we do is the biggest thing that we do is programming, be it 4-H, family consumer science, or ag and natural resources, community development, plethora of different things. So you can use those, take pictures at those events and share those pictures to promote those different programs. Have people ask questions about a photo that they post. So here we are coming up on gardening season, and I think everybody's ready for it, especially considering the last couple weeks of snowy weather that we've had. So maybe somebody's got a problem with their tomatoes or something. They can post a picture and ask you or ask your county office for help with that. Share milestones reached by Extension. If somebody's, celebrating their 5th year with Extension, or if, like we saw, Overton County had posted some pictures of their office renovations. So, stuff to be proud of, stuff to show that, we're moving onward and upward. We're celebrating things. We're happy to be working together. We're happy that John Doe is celebrating his 5th year with Extension. That's awesome. We're going to put a picture out there of that. Hootsuite is it's a tool I use a lot for Twitter, but they post a lot of information, kind of helpful information that I like to read about how to better use social media platforms. So this is some 7 steps from Hootsuite on building your brand here on Instagram. First of all is understanding your brand's audience, and for Extension that's pretty easy to do because our brand's audience is literally all the citizens of Tennessee. So we don't have to really think too hard about, how do we communicate with our customer. Our customer is everybody. So we put content out there about the programs we're doing, and we try to gear it towards anybody that may be interested in it. So we have a really big advantage there that we're not just trying to sell widgets or trying to offer one particular service. We do so much that we have a really full and endless audience to reach. Create a theme for your content and be consistent. So our theme is offering research-based education for the citizens of Tennessee, right? So we need to be consistent with that theme as we're putting photos out there. And what I mean by that, I had a conversation, I've got a buddy of mine that manages ticket sales for a professional baseball team, and he was talking about, the person that manages their Instagram account putting stuff out there on Instagram that really didn't have, it wasn't anything bad, but it really didn't have anything to do with what their goals were as a sports franchise. So, that was kind of taking away, it leaves some confusion there to the users of, well, what are these people posting? If they're going to be I want to see stuff, people follow us and they follow different brands on Instagram because they're interested in that brand. When that brand starts sending us mixed signals, and we really don't know how to interact with that. Next thing is just take lots of photographs. Again, the beautiful thing about this is we don't have film anymore. We're not limited as to how many pictures we can take. We can take hundreds of pictures a day if we wanted to. And I'm not saying you have to, but take a lot of photos, throw them out there. Watch and see what photos get more comments and more likes, and that will help guide you in how you go forward in the future. So make note, if you posted a picture of 4-Hers doing something and that gained a lot of likes and a lot of comments, then maybe we need to focus on that. But can also tell you, all right, the 4-H brand is doing well, but we need to get some photos out there about some of our ag and natural resource programs. Maybe, go have the ag agent or go with the ag agent, take a picture of them interacting with a farmer or a homeowner or something like that. So just take lots of photos, throw them out there and see what works. Give your followers a reason to want to follow your brand on Instagram. So offer some tips, offer some advice. Don't just tell people there's a meeting tonight, there's a program this weekend, there's this and that. Give them a reason. So you want to, or do you want to increase your child's public speaking ability? If so, then call us at this number and ask about our public speaking program. Different ideas, things like that. You want people to have a reason to follow you on Instagram, just like anything else. Just like you want people to have a reason to like your page on Facebook or to follow your account on Twitter. Spread your post out like you would any other social media network. If you have a goal, if your office strategy is to post to Instagram 3 times a day or 5 times a week or whatever it may be, don't put all 5 of those posts out there Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Stagger that throughout the week so that you're spreading out the potential for somebody to see it. Just like Twitter, it's a real-time feed. Okay, so if we post this morning at 8 o'clock and people that follow us also follow several hundred other people, there's a likelihood that our post will get pushed down to the point where they may not even see it. Now, I'm not advocating, on Twitter, I think it's okay to post the same content multiple times a day. I mean, you may want to change the wording a little bit, but it's okay to post the same kind of content, but I would encourage you on Instagram to use different pictures for that. So let's say you're wanting to promote camp, 4-H camp coming up. Maybe to do that, you would put several different pictures about 4-H camp, but with the same message in there. Engage with your followers, comment, follow back, like things, just basically be human. Do things that you would want a brand to do with you. So if you follow XYZ brand, if that brand interacts with you on Instagram, then that creates a really strong relationship. You feel more connected to that brand. The same thing happens with our county offices. If somebody out there is on Instagram and they're one of our clients, they live in our county, if we interact with them, then they feel like they've got a relationship with our brand. So that's important to do. And tell an interesting brand story through your images and captions. So, be interesting, put some thought into the photos that you put out there, put some thought into the captions that you add. Don't just throw stuff out there to be doing it, but actually put some thought and some reason behind sharing those photos. So anybody have anything they want to add to using Instagram for extension? Any ideas that popped into your head? Are you guys still with me?
Okay, I have a question.
Okay, shoot.
Okay. Well, my thing with opening the Instagram for our office was to reach out to more of our kids, because I noticed a lot of our kids aren't using Facebook anymore. They're using Instagram. Well, I don't know how to find some of these kids on Instagram. I found a few, but just a handful. I don't know how to find these kids because I'm not friends with them on my Facebook. And it's linked up where I did it through my phone. So I just don't know how to find our 4-Hers on Instagram.
The only advice I can give you on that, Rebecca, is to search for their name. So when you go to that search box and you're searching people, not hashtags, just type their name. And if it comes up, now the problem with that is, okay, my name is pretty easy to identify with me. My name is Jonathan Bradley Greenfield, okay? My name on Instagram, my handle or my username is jbradg. So that coupled with my picture makes me pretty easy to find. But let's say you're trying to follow a kid named, John Doe, and his username on Instagram is, football nut 27, and he's got a picture of a football. Well, that's kind of hard. There's a lot of John Does out there. It's just the right person. So you're a little limited. The only thing that you could really do is ask them to follow you. So at these project group meetings or 4-H club, whatever it may be, just say, hey, you guys follow us on Instagram, and then go to the list of people that are following you and follow all of them. That really is all. That's about the most you can do with that. And again, like you said, you don't really want to have these 4-H children as your friends on your private social media platform. So, you can only do as much as you can do. And I think that's about all you could do, is ask them to follow you, and then go in and make sure you're following everybody that's followed you.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions? Ideas? All right. Well, here's some, and again, I'll send this PowerPoint out so you don't have to write these links down. If you want it before tomorrow afternoon, then just drop me an email and I'll reply back with this. But I wait until tomorrow afternoon so I can get all these Instagram trainings and then send the PowerPoint out to everybody. So there's a couple of different photo galleries that you can use to view photos on Instagram. Now, the Instagram website, you can obviously just go to that and look at all the photos there. But these three are just some other tools that you could use if you didn't really like how the web or the desktop view of the Instagram website looked. You could go to some of these and look at some different photo galleries, or some different, it's going to put each one of these websites is going to put a little bit of a different spin on how they display these photo galleries. So, that's completely up to you. Just want to throw these out there. When you go to these websites, it's going to ask you for your Instagram credentials. So you'll enter your username and your Instagram password. That's when you're giving that website access to your Instagram account. Now, it's not access to your personal information, but it's access to your photos, the people you follow, things like that. You can go in and revoke that access in the account settings there in the web or in the desktop interface. So you can, if you give one of these websites access to your information or to your pictures and the people you follow and stuff like that, if you decide at some point you don't want that, then you can just go into those account settings and revoke that access if you wanted to. You can embed the photo gallery onto your website. So I'm going to do a YouTube video about this, but if this is something you're interested in, before I get a chance to make the video, then you can sign up for a one-on-one training that I sent out last week, and I can teach you how to do this. It's very easy, very simple. A really neat way is you're getting your county Instagram feed up and going. You can add that feed to your website. It's a really cool, easy process to do that. Printing Instagram photos, again, like I said, I'm not a photographer, but even myself, from time to time, I get lucky and just happen to snap the right photo, and it looks really cool. You can go to this Printstagram and print your images either on Canvas or different things like that. So it's a really, really cool website. Just another option if you take a picture you really like, you want to have that thing printed out. And then tracking stats from Instagram. Now, it's easy to take a look at Instagram and see the comments and see the follows and see the likes that you get on photos. But this tracking website, iconosquare.com, will break down in a lot more detail of just follows, likes, and comments. I mean, it gives you the number of views, how popular a picture is, how well a picture is performing compared to some other pictures. So it's a really cool, in-depth website that I encourage you, again, as you're developing your social media strategy, to include Instagram, checking out this iconosquare.com website and keeping up with some of the stats that are going on with your Instagram account will help you decide what's working and what's not working, areas that you may need to pay a little more attention to, or areas that are really doing well, and what you can glean from that to apply to other areas and different things like that. So, any questions on any of these links? All right, folks. Well, that's all I have. Again, not much to really cover on Instagram. It's not a new platform, but it's definitely gaining in momentum. I think a lot of our county offices and just a lot of our folks in general are starting to pay a little bit more attention to Instagram and becoming interested in it. So hopefully you got some decent information out of this. If you've never seen Instagram before, then you at least got a hands-on tour of what the app looks like and what it can do, and maybe what it can't do. So I would encourage you, as you use Instagram for your county offices, take notes of what's working and share that with people, with your coworkers, and we can all try to build this thing together. So if there aren't any other questions, then we'll call it a day, and I will be sending out a survey along with the PowerPoint sometime probably Wednesday morning, I would say.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.